You guys have to tell me if I handled this right, because I'm still not sure if I saved my wedding or destroyed my family. It all came to a head just 2 months before my wedding. We were trying to finalize the guest list, the seating chart, the kind of things that are supposed to be stressful but fun. But for my mom, the stress had curdled into outright hostility, aimed squarely at my maternal grandfather, Papa Gene. See, I wanted a beautiful wedding, something around $45,000, which, for our area, was a respectable mid-range budget. My fiancé and I had saved about half, but we needed help to make it happen. My mother, bless her heart, had been extremely competitive about this wedding. She saw it as a reflection of her success, not just mine. So, when my kind, quiet Papa Gene offered $15,000 to cover the catering, Mom stepped in and essentially told him to go home. No, not literally go home, but she threw $45,000 at him and said, I have this covered. Take your money back and go home, Gene. You won't be paying for my daughter's wedding. She said it right in front of me, with an expression of cold, polished superiority. My grandfather, a man who had worked his entire life as a simple teacher, looked completely crushed. He took the money, but the look he gave my mother, a look of final, utter disappointment, is burned into my memory. That moment didn't just break the relationship between my mother and her father. It fractured my entire perspective on my own family. And it was all over a wedding that hadn't even happened yet. So, I have to ask you straight away, when you realize your own mother values financial pride over her father's genuine, loving contribution to your happiness, how do you manage the ensuing chaos without destroying your biggest day? Was I wrong for the ultimatum I eventually had to deliver? Tell me if you would have been able to handle the sheer emotional extortion. Let me take you back, way back, to understand the dynamics that led to this explosion. My mother, Eleanor, yes, another Eleanor, ironically, grew up poor. I mean truly poor. Her father, Papa Gene, was an honorable man, a public school history teacher who poured his life into his students and his small family. They never had much, but they had love and respect. But my mother, Eleanor, saw that poverty as a cage. She was brilliant, driven, and desperate to escape the hand-to-mouth existence. From the moment she left for college on a scholarship, her entire life became a relentless pursuit of wealth and status. She succeeded spectacularly. She worked her way up in a major finance firm, married my father, who was also a high achiever, and now they live in a massive house, drive luxury cars, and are, by all accounts, highly successful. My parents are great, loving, and generous to me, but there's always an invisible asterisk next to everything. Asterisk provided it reflects well on their success. Asterisk Papa Gene, on the other hand, never changed. He retired modestly, lives in the same small house, and finds joy in gardening and his grandchildren. My mother treats him like a painful reminder of a past she worked hard to bury. She's not openly cruel, but she's constantly condescending, offering to fix his house, buying him expensive, unnecessary gifts, and never, ever letting him pay for anything when they go out. It's not generosity, it's a power play. She wants to be seen as the rescuer, the one who transcended the family's humble origins. I am very close to my grandfather. He's the steady, calm center of our family. When I told him I was engaged to my fiancé, Alex, his reaction was pure joy, not talk of money. Alex and I had decided on a gorgeous venue, an old, beautifully restored barn, and we budgeted carefully. We had $22 saved up. We knew we needed another $23,000 to cover the major costs like the venue rental and the food. We approached both sets of parents. Alex's parents, who are lovely but not wealthy, offered to cover the rehearsal dinner and some of the smaller daycare, totaling maybe $5,000 in services and goods. My parents offered $10,000 cash instantly, but with a lot of commentary about how the venue wasn't quite up to par, but would do. It was a gift laced with judgment. Then Papa Gene came to me privately. He looked nervous, clutching a simple, white envelope. He sat me down and, with tears in his eyes, said, "This is everything I have saved from my last few years of teaching, sweetheart. I want you to have the wedding you dreamed of. I know your mother she likes to pay for things, but this is from me for you. It's $15,000. Don't tell your mom. I just want to see you happy." That $15,000, combined with our savings and my parents' $10,000, suddenly put us right at the $47,000 mark. We were set. It was the most selfless, pure gift I had ever received. I promised him I wouldn't tell Eleanor, because I knew exactly how she would react. But I was too excited, too naive. I told Alex, and Alex, not knowing the full extent of the tension, casually mentioned the total budget to my mother during a planning meeting. That's when the air turned to ice. My mother cornered me later that day. Her eyes were sharp, cold, and calculating. "Where did the extra 15 come from? My name?" she demanded. I tried to deflect, but she pressed, saying, "Did you take a loan? Is Alex hiding something? Because this budget doesn't add up." When I finally admitted that Papa Gene had given it to us, her face went rigid with fury, but not at me, at him. The scene I described in The Hook happened the next week. We were having dinner at my parents' house when Papa Gene came over to drop off some paperwork. My mother seized the opportunity. She marched over to her antique desk, pulled out her checkbook, and wrote a check. She didn't write it for $15,000. She wrote it for $45,000, the asterisk entire asterisk wedding budget. She walked right over to my grandfather, holding the check in one hand and the $15,000 envelope he'd given me in the other. She pushed the envelope back into his hands and then dramatically placed the $45,000 check on the table. "I told you, Gene, I have this handled. I don't need your pity money sullying my daughter's wedding. Take this back and take your dignity with you. Go home." Her voice wasn't loud, but it was crystal clear, cutting through the silence. My father was mortified. Alex was shocked. Papa Gene didn't even look at the $45,000 check. He just looked at my mother, his only daughter, his face collapsing into an expression of deep, heart-wrenching pain, and he simply walked out without a word. The fallout was immediate and catastrophic. My mother was triumphant. She instantly called the wedding planner and declared herself the sole financial benefactor. She started making unilateral changes, upgrading the wine list, demanding a different, more expensive linen company, and trying to cut several of my grandfather's relatives from the guest list. Citing the new, higher budget and exclusivity, she essentially tried to buy the wedding, and with it, my gratitude and subservience. I felt sick. That $45,000 came with a price tag of absolute control and the total humiliation of the man I loved most. For 2 weeks, I tried to talk to her, to reason with her. I told her what she did was unforgivable, that she had hurt Papa Gene deeply. She just shrugged. He should be grateful, my name, now he can keep his meager savings. She truly believed she had done the right thing. Meanwhile, Papa Gene wouldn't answer my calls. He was too wounded. He felt rejected, and worst of all, pitied by his own daughter. My beautiful, planned wedding had turned into a toxic symbol of my mother's financial aggression. I couldn't imagine walking down the aisle knowing that moment had ruined my relationship with my grandfather. So, here's the crucial part. And this is where I need your honest opinion. I had the venue booked, the date set, and a $45,000 check from my mother that, frankly, she would never take back without a massive scene. I was trapped between my mother's money and my grandfather's love and dignity. I was 2 months away from the wedding. I had to make a choice: suck it up, use the money, and try to mend things later, or risk the entire wedding to send my mother a definitive message about boundaries and respect. I couldn't let my mother's financial entitlement win. So that's the situation I was in, and I had to make a choice. Before I tell you exactly what I did to force the issue and what that final, public confrontation looked like, I want you to pause right now and comment below. What would you have done in my shoes? Would you have secretly refunded your mother $15,000 and used Papa Gene's original money? Or would you have delivered a dramatic ultimatum that risked throwing the entire wedding into jeopardy? I decided the wedding could not proceed under the shadow of my mother's toxic pride. I needed a grand, unmistakable gesture that would hit her where it hurt most: her reputation and her sense of control. I didn't want to cancel the wedding. I wanted to reclaim it. I called a meeting with my mother, my father, and Alex. My mother assumed it was to discuss her latest wine selection. I walked in with 2 envelopes. One was addressed to her. The other was addressed to the wedding planner. I looked her dead in the eye and delivered the ultimatum. I started by telling her that her public humiliation of Papa Gene was the cruelest thing I had ever witnessed. I told her that she valued money and status over family. I then handed her the first envelope. Inside was a cashier's check for $30,000, the exact amount my fiancé and I could afford on our own without her help or Papa Gene's. I explained that we had opened a new joint account and we were rejecting her $45,000 check. I ripped up her original $45,000 check right in front of her face. She was speechless. Her jaw dropped and her perfect composure shattered. She turned white with rage. "You ungrateful little brat! After all I've done, you will ruin this wedding!" she shrieked. My father tried to intervene, but I held up my hand. I then pulled out the second envelope, addressed to the planner. "This is the final notice," I said, my voice shaking slightly, but remaining firm. "Mom, you have a choice. You can attend this wedding as a guest my mother, whom I love, and you will treat Papa Gene with respect, apologize to him, and make no further financial or planning interference, or you can continue this charade of superiority, and you will not be attending. The planner has strict instructions that if you call them one more time with a demand, your name will be permanently removed from the guest list, and you will not be walking me down the aisle. The wedding will proceed with my father walking me alone." I looked at my father, who was staring at me with a mixture of shock and pride. I then looked back at my mother. "You have until tomorrow morning to decide if you want to be a mother at my wedding, or just the rich woman who missed it." The silence was deafening. My mother, confronted with the total loss of control and the devastating prospect of being publicly barred from her only daughter's wedding, the social event she had been planning for months, finally broke not into apology, but into a terrified panic. She realized the social damage of being known as the woman who was uninvited to her daughter's wedding was far greater than the humiliation of accepting her father's small gift. The aftermath was a slow, agonizing process. My mother, defeated, took the $30,000 check I offered and, through my father, transferred the rest of the original money back to my new joint account. She didn't apologize to me for a week, but her first call wasn't to me. It was to Papa Jean ***. I found out later that she cried on the phone, not about the money, but about the decades of bitterness and shame she had harbored over their poverty. She didn't apologize for being rich, but she apologized for making him feel small. That was the breakthrough. Papa Jean eventually came back into the fold. He was hesitant, but he accepted her apology. The greatest gift came a month later. Papa Jean approached me again, not with an envelope, but with a smile. He told me he understood my struggle and that he was so proud of me for standing up to Eleanor. He didn't want the $15,000 back, and he didn't want me to use his money for the wedding. Instead, he paid in full for the honeymoon ***, a 2-week trip to Italy that Alex and I had only dreamed of. That was Papa Jean's final, beautiful contribution, a gift that was pure love, untainted by control. The wedding itself was perfect. My mother was gracious, surprisingly subdued, and focused only on enjoying the day. She treated Papa Jean with genuine warmth, ensuring he was seated prominently and acknowledging his contribution to our happiness. When I walked down the aisle, I realized that I wasn't just gaining a husband. I had won back the dignity of my family and finally established a healthy boundary with my mother. It wasn't about the money. It was about the power dynamic she had used for years. I risked the whole day, and in return, I got the only thing that truly mattered: an authentic, loving family celebration. It taught me that sometimes the most loving thing you can do for the people you cherish, even your own mother, is to risk everything to force them to choose respect over pride. Like this video if you think my ultimatum was the right move to save the family. Subscribe for more stories of dramatic boundaries and unexpected justice. And share your final thoughts on this whole mess in the comments section below. Do you think my mother truly learned her lesson, or was it just fear of social embarrassment? I'll see you all in the next story.